Hello everyone, this is Shan Heather, and in this video we are going to do a gaming performance test of Poco F6 or the Redmi Turbo 3 smartphone by playing few of the most high-end heavy graphics game on the highest possible graphics setting. We will also monitor the battery performance and whether we are going to face any heating issue or not. So here we go. So for this testing purpose, we have set the screen refresh rate to 120Hz. In the battery setting, we have selected the ultimate mode to get the best performance out of the device, and we will use Xiaomi's Game Turbo application to play all of these games once again to get the best performance while playing games here on our Poco F6. As you can see, we have selected the high quality to play all of these games. Right now the battery percentage is 81. So first of all, let's start with Injustice 2. So here in the Game Turbo widget as well, you can see we have selected the ultimate mode. So the graphics quality is really good. Gameplay is very smooth. And as you can see, we are getting 120 FPS while playing Injustice 2 on Poco F6 or Redmi Turbo 3 smartphone.
Cannot best Martian might. This mountain is not moving.
So there was no frame drop, no lagging, and we were getting around 120 FPS most of the time while playing Injustice 2 on Poco F6. Let's go back from here, let's close Injustice 2. Now let's play Call of Duty Mobile. So here in the graphics setting of Call of Duty Mobile, you can see by default very high graphics is selected with max frame rate. I can select ultra frame rate with medium graphics quality. Ultra is the one in which we will get 120 FPS in the multiplayer mode. If I go too low, then still the max possible frame rate is ultra only. So I'm going to play the game on medium graphics with ultra frame rate to see whether we are going to get 120 FPS or not, and then I will play on very high graphics quality with max frame rate to see how much FPS we will get in this mode. And as you can see here, we have downloaded the HD resource pack to play all of these games on the highest possible graphics quality. What was that? So the graphics quality is looking brilliant. If you have a look on the ground, you can see how much detail we are getting, the shadowing effect and everything. So good. It's very realistic as well.
Friendly airstrike incoming.
If you have a look on the gun, you can see the reflection of the light from its body, how the recoiling is happening and everything. And we are getting 60 FPS. As you can see, that is the maximum possible graphics combo with max FPS and very high graphics quality. I think that was the combo.
Friendly airstrike incoming.
So there is no frame drop or lagging is happening. As you can see, everything is nice and smooth. The graphics quality is pretty solid as well.
Enemy in sight! Friendly hunter-killer drone deployed. Friendly airstrike incoming. Target in sight! Friendly napalm deployed. Stealth chopper inbound. Capture A. Heads up. Enemy UAV spotted. Enemy down. Enemy in sight.
So once again, you can see how much detail we are getting. Everything is nice and smooth.
Enemy contact. Targets in sight. Nice work. Ready for the next round. Be taking Alpha. We're capturing C. I got shot. Tango down. Sentry gun ready to deploy. Enemy in sight. Stealth chopper inbound. Friendly drone in the air. Enemy contact. Target down. Enemy taking Charlie. Sentry gun deployed. Target down. Losing Bravo. Friendly airstrike incoming. Friendly napalm deployed. Captured Alpha. Sentry gun ready for deployment. UAV spotted. Sentry gun deployed. Stealth chopper awaiting orders. Losing Alpha. Swarm ready. Enemy down! Swarm activated. Hostile. Enemy in sight! We're capturing B. Go down! Heads up, team. Enemy UAV spotted. Enemy contact! Enemy down! Targets in sight!
So once again, you can see how much details we are getting in everything. It's so good. Gameplay is very smooth and we are getting 60 FPS constantly.
Heads up. Enemy UAV spotted.
So 60 FPS during the gameplay.
Enemy contact! Enemy down! Enemy SAM detected. Enemy UAV spotted. Destroyed. Losing A. Reloading. Cover me. Friendly stealth chopper inbound. Enemy in sight! Hostile care package inbound. All positions locked down. Hold your positions. Losing B. Enemy!
So now I have selected the ultra frame rate with medium graphics and let's see whether we are going to get 120 FPS now or not. So the graphics quality is still good enough, not that great, because now if you have a look here on this part, you can see it's a bit blurry, not pixelated but blurry for sure. And talking about the FPS, we are getting 120 FPS now. So graphics quality is good enough to enjoy the game, especially considering the fact that we are getting now 120 FPS. Gameplay is very smooth, and once again, if you have a look on the ground, we are getting good amount of details, the textures and everything, so it's not that bad.
Heads up. Enemy UAV spotted. We've taken the lead. Capturing Bravo. Be advised. Hostile hunter-killer drone inbound. Contact enemy! Losing Charlie. We're almost there. Keep it up. Objective almost.
So I'm just gonna leave it here because I just wanted to give you the idea whether we are going to get 120 FPS or not while playing Call of Duty Mobile on Poco F6. And now the device is slightly warm. The whole back panel is warm. I can feel the warm sensation. It's not too hot, but it's warmer than at what temperature we have started for sure. So now let's play Asphalt 9. So here in the graphics setting of Asphalt 9, you can see we have selected the high graphics quality with 60 FPS mode. Let's play the game and let's see how good it's going to be. So the graphics quality is looking really impressive. If you have a look on the ground, the cracks, the texture and everything, so nice. Also, if you have a look on the car, the amount of detail we are getting is very impressive. And as you can see, we are getting 60 FPS here while playing Asphalt 9 on Poco F6 or Redmi Turbo 3. No frame drop, no lagging, graphics quality is brilliant and gameplay is very smooth. So everything was nice and smooth while playing Asphalt 9 on Poco F6. No frame drop, no lagging, and we were getting 60 FPS. So let's close Asphalt 9. Now let's play CarX Street. So here in the graphic setting of CarX Street, you can see we have selected the highest possible graphic setting and FPS limit, and let's see how great the gameplay is going to be. We are getting around 120 FPS. That's pretty impressive. I'm not so good when it comes to CarX Street. I haven't played it much. I just wanted to give you an idea about the gaming capability of the device, because recently many people have asked me to play this game. And we are getting 115, 116 FPS, fluctuating between 95 to 100 as well. I think I'm going in circle. I don't know exactly what I'm doing here. But if you play this game, CarX Street, then you should be getting the idea about the gaming capability of this device here we got. Yeah, we are coming on the highway. Finally. And once again you can see now we are getting 60 FPS, 55 FPS as well. So the fluctuation is high depending on where we are, how intense the graphics quality in that particular frame. We were also getting 120 FPS, now we are getting around 60 FPS as you can see. but the graphics quality is really good. There we go. So I'm just gonna leave it here. If you play this game, the CarX Street, you should be getting the idea about the gaming capability. We are getting even 47 FPS now, between we can say 45 to 120 FPS. Right now it's 58, 59. So yeah, that's what will happen when you play this game on Poco F6 or Redmi Turbo 3. And the device is pretty hot right now, so it's really hot. And I think this is the issue that we were facing while playing CarX Street. Because of this heating, there was throttling and the frame rate dropped from 120 to just half at 60 FPS. It was really hot. Now it's time to play the last game for today, and that's PUBG Mobile. So here in the graphics setting of PUBG Mobile, by default HD is selected for graphics, high for the frame rate. I can select HDR, Ultra HDR as well, but if I'm selecting Ultra HDR, then extreme frame rate is getting disappeared. And if I'm selecting smooth, then even the Ultra Extreme option is getting enabled. So I'm going to play the game first on smooth with Ultra Extreme, and then I will play on Ultra HDR with Ultra Frame Rate, and let's see how much FPS we are going to get in both of these modes. So you can see that we are getting 120 FPS in the Ultra Extreme FPS mode. So this is quite nice. If you prefer FPS over the graphics quality, especially while playing games like PUBG Mobile, Call of Duty Mobile, then you can go with 120 FPS mode, and then the gameplay will be super smooth. So as you can see, the gameplay is very smooth. And once again, we are getting around 120 FPS. And the graphics quality is looking good enough, not that bad. Once again, you can see that we are getting 120 FPS, fluctuating between 116, 122 as well. So on average, we can say we are getting 120 FPS here. The gameplay is looking very smooth, graphics quality good enough, and there is no frame drop or lagging, and the device is warm enough, but it's getting a bit cooler compared to how it went after playing CarX Street. So now I'm going to select the Ultra HDR with Ultra Frame Rate, and let's see how much FPS we will get. So now the graphics quality is looking brilliant. If you have a look on the ground and everything, You can see how much detail we are getting. It's so good. And we are getting 60 FPS now. So once again, 60 FPS is not bad. It's good enough to play the game, especially considering the amount of detail and graphics we are getting here. It's so good. Once again, if you have a look on the ground, you can see how much detail we are getting. Pretty impressive. So once again, if you have a look on the ground, you can see how much detail we are getting. Also, if you have a look on the costume of the character, the reflection of the light from the shoulder pad and everything, and we are getting 60 FPS, and that's pretty good. So depending on your preference and the graphics quality, you can get 120 FPS as well as 60 FPS in the most extreme FPS mode or the most extreme graphics quality mode. In any case, the gameplay will be good enough to enjoy it, and you will be happy with the performance of Poco F6 we got here for sure. The only thing is we got a bit of heating issue here, so sometimes it might heat up as it did while playing CarX Street. It was pretty hot at that time, but now it's back to the normal temperature. It's pretty much slightly warm, just like after playing Call of Duty, not too hot. And once again, you can see we are getting 60 FPS here. Let's talk about the battery life. So after playing all of these games for like 45 minutes, the battery percentage moved to 67. So 15% reduction after playing all of these games for 45 minutes. So the battery performance is not that great, and you can blame the heating issue a bit because the warmer the device gets, the faster the battery will drain. So I would suggest to not use the ultimate mode from the battery setting, and also if you could avoid the ultimate mode from the game widget, then I think the temperature will be controlled. And who knows, maybe even without using the ultimate mode, the hardware is good enough and capable enough to play all of these games on the highest possible graphics setting. But in the most extreme case, that's what I did here. The performance was great, but there was some heating issue and the battery consumption is a bit on the higher side. But the performance was nice and impressive for sure when it comes to gaming. So that's all for now, friends. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it useful, then give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe the channel, and I will see you guys next time in another video. Have a nice day.